Okay, so here I am with the second exercise, which will be about using two forwards. So this is a bit different to what we did previously because now we don't have bid and ask. We only have spot and forward, but we have two forwards, and that's something new. We used to have only one forward at 90 days, and now we have two forwards, one at 90 days or one at 120 days. So that's something different, right? So let's begin our exercise with in the way that we usually do it, but let me tell you what we are going to do differently here. Since we have two time frames, one for 90 days and one for 120 days, we need to do two simulations. That means two rectangles, one for 90 and one for 120. So I'm going to start the first triangle for 90 days, the one for only 90 days. So let's begin our exercise with 1 million pesos. That's how we start. And then the first thing that I need to do is to convert my pesos in future value. And I need to be careful because now I have two interest rates, right? One interest rate for 90 days and one interest rate for 120 days. Why is this? Because depending on the time frame that you're going to invest the money, it's going to pay you less or more. So usually when you let your money stay more time, it pays you more. If you check the 10-year bond yield, it's higher than the 28-day bond yield, right? So that's why we have in here two interest rates for Mexico, one for 90 and one for 120, and for the US the same, 90 and 120. So let's begin. I multiply $1 million times 1 plus the interest rate of Mexico for 90 days. I need to be very careful. I am in Mexico and I am in 90 days. That's why I selected 5%. Be very careful because this is a main source of mistakes. And then divide it by 360 and multiply it by the what? 90 days, okay? Be careful in here. It has to be always 90, always the same time frame. I think it's not going to work because I wrote days inside of the square, so it's like this. 112,500. This is the same as what we had previously, but it's normal because we have same data. So now let's convert our 1 million pesos to dollars. So how do we convert that? We convert that with the spot rate. Here we don't have any problems because we have the spot rate, or we only have one spot rate, right? We don't have bid and ask. And then we only need to divide, right? Because we have pesos and pesos on top. Remember that too. Then the next thing that I need to do is to convert these dollars into future value. So I need to invest this $50,000 times 1 plus the interest rate of the US for 90 days. Remember, be very careful with that when you choose the rate. And then divide by 360 and then multiply by 20. No, by 90, sorry, like this. And this is the amount of dollars that you have in the future. And finally, I need to come back to Mexico. Which rate will I use? I need to use a forward rate, but which one? 90 days or 120? 90 days. 90 because you are in, in 90 days, right? You are doing this, the 90-day simulation. So finally, the last thing to do is to multiply this times 21, and we make some profit. So I need to divide this, sorry, to subtract this minus this, and this will be a profit in pesos, right? And I am done with the first simulation. I need to do the second one. The second one is for 120 days. So I need to do the second simulation. So it will be the same, 1 million pesos. I need to convert the 1 million pesos into future value using the formula. So 1 million times 1 plus, and I need to be careful which interest rate. The Mexican rate, but for 126%. This divided by 360 times 120, okay? Be careful. It's a very simple mistake. It's very common. I usually do that mistake sometimes. So be very careful. So now I have 1,020,000 pesos. Now let's convert the 1 million pesos into dollars. and I will have to use the spot because spot is the present, and I don't have any issue. Sorry, I forgot to write this because that's the rate that I'm going to use. And then I'm going to divide, right? It's going to be exactly as on the upper part of my exercise. And this is dollars. So then I have to convert my $50,000 into future value dollars. So it will be 1 plus the interest rate of the US for 120 days. And then divide it by 360 and multiply it times 120 days. Again, just be very careful with that. And this is dollars. Finally, this is the very last step of this simulation, which is selecting the correct forward. So I have to use a forward, but the forward for 120 days, 22. And this is in pesos over dollar. That means that I need to multiply this times this. It gives me some profit too. So I subtract this minus this, and this is the amount of profit that I get. So in the end, this is the very final question about this. Which one would you prefer? This one below or this one over here? The answer will be this one over here, right? Because you have more profit. So you always choose the one with more profit or the one with less loss, right? That's what you will have to choose in the end. A question that some of you might have in here, it's like, is it okay to compare 120 days and 90 days? Is it fine if I do this comparison just by comparing these two things? The answer is like, not really. It's not comparable because the days are different. But for the purpose of this course, it is okay because we are only comparing the two possibilities that we have. So it's either we do this for 90 days or we do this for 120. So I think the thing that you do, that you decide to go with the one with more profit, it's okay. It's better to choose this one instead of this one because it gives you more profit. Of course, with in a more advanced analysis, financial analysis of this, you will have to consider the the time too. But for this course, don't overthink it. Just select the one with more profit. Okay, just be just for you to remember or to be aware of this. But in the end, and just choose this one, and it's okay. It gives you more profit. You have to wait one more month to get the profit, but you get more profit, and you don't know how will be the future. Maybe in the future we have another virus and everything is really bad. But if you do this, you are 100% sure that you will make this profit. Why? Because the forward doesn't change. The forward is a contract. So no matter what happens in the world, they are going to pay you 22 for each dollar that you have. And they are going to pay you this amount of interest because that's the fixed interest rate that you are using in this strategy. So in the end, don't overthink it. Just pick up the one with a higher yield or less loss. So we're almost done. I'm going to do another video with the last complication, which is borrow and lending rates.